We are wrestling.
Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling Podcast. We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Let's flip and go.
You're watching We Are Wrestling.
I'm the host with the most.
You are by far the least intelligent.
What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs. Ben here, one half of the We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Make sure to subscribe, baby.
We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on? We are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide. It has been here, one half of the We Are Wrestling podcast, and today we got a stacked ass show for you, y'all. Like the last few weeks have been good, but things could be better, and we are here, and we got a lot of cool shit to talk about, including some returns and some fucking news. But before we get into all that shit, Donnie, take that away, buddy.
Yeah, this week we have a lot to recap. We have a lot to talk about.
There's so much.
AEW, WWE, and even somebody being sentenced for 17 years. But before we dive into all that good stuff, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episode. But if you haven't checked out the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers, we recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO, and of course you already know the grind is real.
Dude, I'm so excited to talk about some of the shit we're going to be talking about tonight, because it is a juicy episode today, ladies and gentlemen. A very juicy episode. We got a lot of cool shit, including a big main event. So, Don, man, how was your week?
My week has been pretty good, I'd say. I think it's, hasn't been bad at all. We're going into, the holiday season officially. And of course, I was out in Brooklyn while, you were watching Survivor Series here on, the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. Holding down the fort.
Believe it or not, my team, we actually won.
Look at that. Look at that. Your team won and CM Punk came back. It's a glorious weekend.
Let's not forget, Randy Orton also came back, and the biggest return of them all, R-Truth.
His childhood hero, John Cena, is rolling over in his grave right now. He did not see that shit coming.
I know, he left just in time.
Yeah, dude, like all hell froze over this fucking weekend, man. Obviously we're gonna unpack it, but I'm glad that your week was good. My week was stressful as fuck, except for yesterday. Yesterday was weirdly a good day, and it was ironically enough my birthday. So, another year older, another trip around the sun. It's been great. And also I want to give a special thank you and a shout out to the best one, Don, over here, for giving me probably one of the coolest birthday presents I never saw coming. And I went to work sweating yesterday morning. Went to work sweating, dude. I was marking the fuck out, dude. Marking the fuck out. But if you guys don't know, you'll probably hear more about that stuff, because there was a little in conjunction with my birthday gift from a very, very special ex-WWE wrestler and fucking independent god of a individual, and hopefully we'll have him on this podcast very soon. But it was a very great birthday present, man, so thank you so fucking much for that, man. It that set the tone for my day.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it was very hard to not tell you or show you the video, dude. Which is why, guys, the big event
made it that much more special
hasn't come out yet to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, is because I was waiting for Ben's birthday. Because, in case you guys don't... Actually, is that your highlight of the week?
That's probably my highlight of the week, yeah.
Okay,
it's probably my highlight of the month. It was my highlight of the month.
Your highlight of the month, so we're going to wait on that. But if you guys have not checked out the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, we highly recommend it because we have videos coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, Survivor Series, we saw the big return of CM Punk. And I decided to do a couple rare reactions, which has been a minute. So over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, we have 2 reactions that came out. We have the CM Punk Raw return promo and the Randy Orton promo and returning to Raw as well. And on top of that, a brand new episode of Hot Takes covering CM Punk returning. And some of the Seth Rollins drama involved.
Seth's not happy with any of these AEW dudes coming over. The only person he has not flamed yet is Jade Cargill. But we also haven't seen Jade Cargill yet. But at the same time, I feel like they're saving it for the Rumble. I think she's officially making her debut at the Rumble.
It's going to be
giving her
Rumble,
some time.
100%.
They're probably giving her some time to get more like nuanced in the ring at the PC. But we're solidifying her essence, I guess. Yeah. We're getting the fact that she's here, but she's definitely making her legitimate in-ring debut at the Rumble, and I think she's going to have like some vast eliminations, and we're also going to be getting some match teases in that bitch too, which makes the 2024 Royal Rumble so special.
It's going to be huge,
so special.
Especially now that Triple H is in the driver's seat. I think that this Rumble is going to be must watch, which, man, we're already planning the Royal Rumble watch along, and guys, it is going to be probably the biggest watch along in We Are Wrestling history. You thought that we had a lot of people for the last Rumble. We're already booking people. We're getting started.
Yeah, dude. I think my biggest regret is they should have saved CM Punk for the Rumble. I feel like that she should have been number 30. Realistically, I feel like he should have been.
I don't know. I kind of like how they did it because honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought CM Punk was going to show up at the Rumble, so my expectations were very low. Even though it was in Chicago, I should have been, questioning myself, but I thought
had a
the Rumble
feeling
was the best spot.
And the thing is, though, not to, get any skeletons out of the closet, but, for a long time, you and I specifically have, confirmed the fact that he was coming back to the WWE. Other people did not agree. But it happened, and I'm really, really stoked about it. I was worried about his first promo back at Raw. I was very worried, and I was kind of anxious.
We're gonna wait on that.
Yeah, we will.
That's all for the main event.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And like I said, the only thing I'll leave on that note is it left me anxious at first, but very hopeful by the end. So, but anyways, it's been a good week, man. But let's get into it. Let's do it.
Yeah, and before we share our highlight of the week, we do have a huge announcement that we've been working on for a couple months now, and I feel like now that we're in the beginning of, the end of 2023, let's make this announcement.
Let's do it.
We Are Wrestling. We're going to be having a Patreon page launching in 2024, the new year. We're going to have exclusive podcasts. We're going to have bonus podcasts. We're going to have a lot of awesome things over there. So we will be, probably launching it towards the end of December. And we're also going to be doing giveaways on there as well. So if you guys are a big fan of, Ben and myself, highly recommend you guys to, join the Patreon. We want to, continue to grow the We Are Wrestling brand. And we feel like, this will be a great opportunity to connect with more of, the diehard fans and to give you guys more content, which is, what we love to do.
Absolutely, man. We, like everybody else that watches these kind of podcasts, we're fans too. We're marks ourselves, and it's always a good time.
Absolutely. And one of the exclusive series that I will announce right now, just for, all the We Are Wrestling maniacs who tune into the podcast, We Are Wrestling. We're bringing back old school versus new school, except this time it's going to be the best one, Donnie, and the voice, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. He is Blitzkrieg Pro's ring announcer, and the dude is
the
just
voice of
a
the
marvelous,
voiceless, baby.
He's a marvelous fucking dude, solid fucking individual, and I'm really, really stoked to see, not only the podcast return, but to see what kind of spice Phil's going to put onto it, if you know what I mean. Hint, hint. So really, really excited for that announcement. I'm really excited for you guys to see it as well. So it's going to be great.
Absolutely. We got lots of awesome things coming, and we're going to be announcing it throughout the month of December to hype up, the Patreon. So we wanted to share it first here on the We Are Wrestling Podcast 85. But now let's get into the highlight of the week. So, Ben, what was the birthday gift that I gave you?
The birthday gift that was given to me, and it's my highlight of the month, honestly. And November is just so much sweeter now because of this.
We're
And
in
I've
a
already
new
watched
month
this.
now.
I've watched that video 1,000 fucking times. I'm not even kidding. I've already watched it like twice today. Like I've watched it 1,000 fucking times, dude, because honestly, dude, I was not expecting it at all. 2, that is somebody that I have admired for years, not only in just, in ring, but just character work and just also, work ethic and just everything in between and just, what it really all entailed. And the birthday gift that I got was a cameo shout out from none other than Paul London. He is a one half of the second longest reigning tag team champions in SmackDown history, and one of the most electrifying and just incredible entertainers. And I got a happy birthday and an accepted invite onto the podcast, so you guys can look forward to that in 2024. And I'm really, really hyped about it, and I'm excited to say thank you in person. So thank you so much again, by the way, buddy. Really, really appreciated that. And again, that set the tone for my day, bro. Like nothing was touching me. Like I had such a good fucking day yesterday. It is unreal. I even bodied Domino's at fucking 11 o'clock at night. I was hyped.
Yeah, so guys, I, went to the big event in New York, obviously, earlier this month. Ben was bummed out that he couldn't make it because one of his favorite wrestlers, Paul London, was there, thanks to our good buddy, Captain's Corner. And of course, I got the opportunity to meet Paul. And one of my goals, meeting him was, talking about Ben's fandom. And I knew his birthday was coming up a couple weeks. And I wanted to, give a nice little cameo, nice little shout out to Ben. And I'm not going to lie to you, I wasn't expecting the whole, podcast thing as well. That surprised me. And my dad was even in the background smiling. He was very excited about that as well. So honestly, I'm super pumped to get Paul London here on the We Are Wrestling podcast, or maybe one of our bonus ones over on the Patreon, but we'll have to wait and see.
Happy birthday, Ben. This is Paul London. I know, regardless of that, I hope you're having a great birthday. Sorry you couldn't be here at the big event, blah, 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 whatever the name of it also is. But I got this, and I think we're going to hopefully set something up, and I would love to come onto your show. I'm imposing now, actually. I haven't actually been invited yet, but I would like to come on the show if you could make some time for me, please.
Oh, absolutely.
So, happy birthday, and we'll talk soon.
We'll talk about it.
My highlight of the week, besides CM Punk, obviously, because everybody knows, nobody thought CM Punk was really coming back to WWE after what happened. My highlight of the week, believe it or not, has got to be R-Truth, the segment on Monday Night Raw with the Jelly Rolls in the Judgment Day's clubhouse.
And they ruined their couch.
I love that segment. That was hilarious. And honestly, I really hope that they continue to do segments with the Judgment Day and R-Truth, because it'll bring, some more comedy to it, similar to Sami Zayn with the Bloodline. I think that there's a lot of potential there with R-Truth and, a Judgment Day feud or something there, I think.
Man, not only one do I like to add to it, R-Truth is one of the most entertaining fucking wrestlers in sports history. The dude is just, not only is he phenomenal in the fucking ring for his age, the dude's over 50. So for his age to be, and also the shape the dude's fucking in is insane.
He still looks young.
I hope that he gets a slight repackage. I hope that he still stays the same R-Truth, but when the bell rings, kind of like what they did with Luke Gallows with fucking Festus, I hope that something changes. He gets a snap, so he's taken more seriously in the ring, but is sound as a comedic god on the mic. I would love that. I would love to see a solid run, because honestly, it's criminal that he's never been a world champion. It's criminal. The dude is built for it.
Not in WWE, but he was an NWA World Championship he did hold the title back in the day.
I get that, but I'm talking about WWE. That's the big one. That's everybody's fucking dream as a wrestler, dude. Everybody that has ever woken up and has had a dream about being a pro wrestler has always had two dreams: main event WrestleMania in WWE, and to be one of their world champions. That is a fucking dream of every single pro wrestler. That is everybody's dream. So I feel like it's criminal. I feel like it's criminal that he's never been a world champion, you know? And the dude is... I honestly was not only surprised, but I was hyped he was back, dude. Hyped, because he's been out for almost a year, right? Roughly? With a bad injury?
About a year. I want to say it was an injury with either the shoulder or like his ACL or something.
I think it was his ACL because it happened on NXT, right? He took a dive over the ring and landed wrong or something like that?
Yeah, it was something like that from what I heard. But
I'm just glad he's back, bro.
Dude, I gotta say though, my highlight had to be the Jelly Roll segment there with R-Truth. It was just absolutely hilarious. And I think that honestly, there's a lot of potential there. And I'm kind of excited to see like JD McDonough feud with R-Truth, because obviously after the segment, JD basically said like, I'm gonna take care of this.
Could you imagine if R-Truth was the reason for fucking Judgment Day's downfall?
Wait, what?
The way that Sami Zayn broke up the bloodline single-handedly, not only was that one of the most fucking just electrifying and heartwarming like storylines of all time, could you imagine that was what happened?
R-Truth is the reason.
The truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.
No, but the funniest part about that segment was Damian Priest saying, "You got jelly roll. You got jellies on my cat in our clubhouse."
That is so, dude.
I loved it.
R-Truth is one of those dudes that, like, I've always loved R-Truth, and I've always loved what he could do to add to segments and to add to feuds and stories, etc. But the dude has literally been operating on another level ever since the Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman fucking promo. The dude has been operating on an entirely different level since that moment, and it just never stopped. The dude never took his foot off the gas. He's just fucking naturally hilarious, and it works for his character, but I hope he gets a push at some point.
One of my favorite ones was Royal Rumble. R-Truth brought the ladder in, and there is nothing. But honestly,
bro. I love it.
For the getting put over segment, it might be R-Truth next week. That might be my choice. So
no, fuck that. No, no.
We're switching it up.
We're switching it up. Today's gonna be R-Truth, and we'll do Eddie Guerrero next week. R-Truth, like it needs to happen. It needs to happen. So R-Truth will be tonight.
All right, so later on, guys, on the We Are Wrestling Podcast 85, I guess we're going to be putting over R-Truth. And since Ben's doing that, next week, we will put over Eddie Guerrero. I will, sacrifice mine since he's going to do R-Truth. So, yeah, we're going to be doing that. So now, with that being said, let's dive into the We Are Wrestling weekly recap for the We Are Wrestling Podcast 85. Our first weekly recap. At Survivor Series, we saw the return of R-Truth. What's your thoughts on his return? But we're going to wait until the getting put over segment for that one, now that we're, switching things on the fly. And this time we're not live, because last week we were live, so we can make mistakes here.
Mm-hmm.
And cut it out.
Happy accidents. As Bob Ross used to like to put it.
So now getting back into Survivor Series, our first, weekly recap topic here. At Survivor Series, we also saw Randy Orton return in the War Games match, and this past Monday, Randy Orton still has receipts for the Bloodline, but Rhea Ripley warned Orton about the Judgment Day. What's your thoughts on Orton's first feud potentially being with the Judgment Day?
Honestly, I kind of fuck with it. First off, let's start at the beginning. His return. I love how they built it up, and they really milked it, and they really had it feel special as
I did like that at Survivor Series, how they kind of teased that he wasn't showing up.
Yeah, I liked how they were just expect disappointment, and then all of a sudden big pop, and then even bigger pop at the end, and we'll talk about that in our main event. But can we first of all talk about how fucking yoked this dude looks? I have never seen him this fucking big. He's not even just shredded. He's fucking huge, dude. Did you see his goddamn bicep? The dude did his little fucking shit. Damn. Oh my God. And you could tell he was so fucking happy to be back. Like, just the crowd, man. Like, everybody's just selling for Orton was just incredible. And just how the match was just, like, set around his entire just arrival was incredible. The fucking spots where they all did the fucking, the DDT was incredible. Dude. And then, going over to fucking Raw. He's back. Daddy's home. Fucking his segment with Rhea Ripley.
That was a great line in the segment. That was a great line.
And the fact that, right after fucking Survivor Series, he confirmed we're getting Orton until 2033. He's wrestling for 10 more years. He already said it, 10 more years in the WWE, man.
I saw that at the end of Survivor Series.
I'm really excited, man. And I'm so fucking hyped that we really got someone to nail this down. And the fact that he, like Taker, is another WWE day one that never fucking left and stayed loyal and always maintained a gracious spotlight, because he's not a dude that ever sees anything as a demotion. That dude is a workhorse to a fucking T. He's literally been in the tag team title card. He's been in the mid card. He's been having fucking segments with the likes of New Day, RK Bro, which was phenomenal. It's like Orton can do anything. So to see him in a big storyline building now and to have him potentially feuding with the Judgment Day, dude, Orton can literally do a fucking handicap match, a 5-on-1, and he'd be fine. I could see Orton just fucking delivering RKOs everywhere, bro. I think it's a phenomenal
out of nowhere,
idea.
like these We Are Wrestling videos this week.
Bro, he knocked down fucking Dom already, so who's next? Finn or fucking Damien? Or fucking JD McDonough? Who's next? Or even Mommy? Who's next?
So that's the thing, though. Out of every member of the Judgment Day, the one that makes me really excited for Randy Orton to feud with has got to be Damian Priest. Obviously, during the War Games, I loved how they had Rhea come out and try to cash in the Money in the Bank, and then Randy Orton came in, ruined the cash in. So honestly, I would love to see a Orton versus Priest feud. I think that could really push and elevate Priest to a whole nother level. And honestly, like, I'm very excited overall about the Judgment Day and Randy Orton feud, because I feel like it's just getting a little repetitive, having Cody, Seth, Sammy, Jay.
And now you've got CM Punk in the mix.
So but now you have Randy Orton, who, anytime you put Randy Orton in like a storyline with anybody, it's more exciting. And I think that there's so much that Randy could do in a feud with the Judgment Day.
I think another thing I'm really stoked about is the fact that he's going to be on SmackDown this Friday. So the receipts are already also continuing, so it makes me wonder if it's going to be Solo or Jimmy.
Yep, here's what I was going to say. I said this to the boys on the way home from Brooklyn. I think WrestleMania 40, because at some point, Randy Orton is going to be probably going on SmackDown because there's way too many people on Raw. I think that WrestleMania 40, it's going to be Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa.
Really?
I think that we're going to get that match at 40.
Yeah, because we're going to have Jay versus Jimmy, and then Roman versus whoever, or
Cody,
The Rock.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I think that realistically, like, Randy and Solo does make a lot of sense. And Randy pretty much mentioned the bloodline in his promo. So the end goal for Randy is to get his revenge on, every member of the bloodline. And I think that he's going to have to get through Solo first.
You know that there's already... You already know that there's a fucking CM Punk and Roman match already planned?
Yep, I heard that's going to be probably like SummerSlam around that time.
Oh, God, I'm so excited. Anyways, back to the topic
Finally,
on
something
hand.
Exciting with Roman Reigns.
Exactly, dude. I'm so fucking excited, dude. The fucking promo work between the both of them is going to be golden. I'm excited. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I'm absolutely excited for Randy Orton's return. The fact that we got another, guaranteed 10 years, unless, something god awful happens, which I hope it doesn't. Really, really stoked about that news. The dude is single-haired. I understand his spinal fusion now because he's been carrying the company on his back for the last fucking at least 10 years.
100%.
So, yeah, man. I'm really hyped about his return, and I'm excited for what.
And am I wrong for saying this? I am, like, when it comes to Randy Orton, I'm more excited that we're getting a singles run with him than RK Bro. I feel like RK Bro, I don't know, it wasn't my cup of tea. I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
I think I loved it.
Randy is just so much better as a singles competitor.
One, I fucking loved it because it was something different for Randy, and he really killed the whole thing. You know, anything that he's part of, like I said, is gold. But I am glad that he's singles, one, because obviously the other half of RK Bro is now gone. One,
He's salty as fuck about CM Punk.
yeah, he is. One, I'm really excited, you know, that he's standing on his own 2 feet and he's focusing on what's after. But I think the whole premise of RK Bro, and I think this is like a low-key thing, and don't quote me, I'm just kind of insinuating here. It's not a fact, but I think the whole reason that RK Bro was a thing is because his spinal fusion was coming up soon, and like I'm assuming, like, you know, wrestling on an injury for so long was starting to catch up with him. So to have
putting
some
him in a
support
tag
in
team,
there,
it would protect him.
yeah, so like getting some
makes
support
sense.
in there, you know, to really kind of be careful without as many bumps as he takes, you know, it gave him, you know, a very easy and organic way out to get the surgery, take the time off, and now, you know, the dude's a fucking Terminator now. So now we're
He's a
back.
Terminator now.
Yeah, so now we're
Perfect
back.
way to end that segment. But
Exactly,
now moving
so
on to
here we
the
are.
next, recap on Monday Night Raw during Cody Rhodes' promo. He was interrupted by Shinsuke Nakamura, who revealed Cody as his next target and shot mist into his eyes. What's your thoughts on a Nakamura versus Rhodes rivalry?
I don't know. Like, it just kind of seems random, I feel like, because I don't really see why Cody would be his target, just because I don't even think Cody's really done anything with Nakamura recently. Like, it just kind of came out of the blue.
Yeah, it was definitely out of the blue.
So that's why I'm like, you know, like, this is the feud we're getting going into the Rumble. Like, I'm glad that Cody's in the Rumble, and you know, he declared himself on Monday, and I feel like we're finally in Rumble season. But it feels weird because I'm just like, what the fuck's the whole point of this? Like, it makes no sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have much to say on it because personally, and this gets fucked up because I feel like I'm in like the alienated part of this, and I'm really not a Shinsuke fan. I really never have been.
You don't like his work right now?
I think his, you know, heel work is spectacular. I think that Triple H letting him speak Japanese makes him even more badass, cutting a promo, and people are really running with it and really letting it take, you know, what I love about this Shinsuke, and like this is something good I will say on it, because
I love how
just
edgier he's gotten.
he feels like an actual anime character right now, like the subtitles and all. Like, he feels like an anime character right now, like a boss character, like a villain. And I watch a lot of anime. I know you don't, but I watch a lot of fucking anime, so I can really appreciate this gimmick, and I can really appreciate where it's going. I am just not a big Nakamura fan, and like I said, it just feels very random. I would have rathered something else. One person that I would have rather seen him kind of feud with would be Karrion Kross, because they're both technical wrestlers. I know Nakamura's on Raw, Karrion's on SmackDown, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels random.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. And honestly, I was very surprised that it was Cody. That was the last person I thought it was going to be, but I'm not going to lie. I actually really enjoyed the way they did this. They had Cody cutting his promo, declaring that he's going to enter the Rumble. And then obviously on the screen, we got one of those, Nakamura videos. And then, he comes from behind. I honestly really liked it. But the only thing I don't like is that, like, I'm a big fan of this new character, push with him.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're not letting him get over in these rivalries. And I feel like it's, through time, it's going to hurt him more than, continue to push him. And, like, obviously, like, Ricochet, he beat, which honestly, like, for Mania season, I would love for them to continue the Ricochet and Shinsuke feud. I feel like there's more there. But when it comes to Shinsuke, I don't know. I just think that him going against Rollins, he put Rollins over. Then,
it's time that he got put
Shinsuke,
over.
huh?
It's time that he got put over.
Exactly. And, Shinsuke, the same thing is going to happen here with Cody. He's going to, end up, putting Cody over. And which obviously, is fair because, right, they want Cody to be, the main event, probably finish the story and beat Roman. But I don't know. With Shinsuke, I feel like he needs to be in like a long feud where he's going to win.
I just thought of something. Sorry,
Let us know.
I'm baked. One, I had a massive like thought. What if, and this is like off topic of Cody Rhodes, but like, what if Shinsuke went over to SmackDown and took under Kyrie, Io, and Asuka, and they made a stable?
Oh.
That would be fucking sick.
That is a real possibility.
That would be fucking sick. I just thought about that, especially since they're all heels right now. That would be fucking insane, bro.
Moving on now to some AEW recapping. On AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday, Ric Flair and Sting announced that Sunday, March 3rd, AEW Revolution 2024 will be live on pay-per-view in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the Greensboro Coliseum Complex, which used to be the Madison Square Garden for the NWA, where in 1988, Sting faced Ric Flair for the very first time ever. And obviously, with, AEW Revolution, that will be Sting's retirement match. Who should Sting's last opponent be, since we're getting close to that date?
Darby Allin.
I'm with you on that one. Darby Allin or anybody that's not Ric Flair. That's one thing a lot of fans are worried about here, because
is that they're building like a Ric Flair and Sting feud to end it?
No, they're building like a tag match. They feel like they're gonna have Flair and Sting team up at Revolution, and that's gonna be Sting's retirement.
No. Like I was like, I want to wrestle. Nobody wants to see you die in the fucking ring, Rick. Nobody wants to see that happen. If you have to wear a diaper in the ring, you shouldn't be in it. Again, I can't let that shit go.
It's got to be Darby.
It has to be Darby. It has to be. It's
Since
just
day one in AEW, Sting has mentored Darby. This would be the perfect opportunity to, put Darby over.
I'm gonna say it. And y'all can fucking hate all you want. Go fuck yourselves. Fuck your family. I'm gonna say this right now. If Tony Khan puts Ric Flair anywhere inside a fucking ring, AEW is going down, and they're gonna eventually be no longer existent. Eventually, it's gonna get that bad. If you let Tony Khan keep running the show at that point, if he books it into a tag match, AEW's lost all credibility for me, man. At that point, there's no point, because you are allowing something not only dangerous, but just nobody's asking for this. Literally nobody. The only person asking for that shit is Ric Flair. It's the only fucking person asking for this, and I don't like it. He should have retired at Mania with Shawn. He should have retired,
not
there.
2024.
Bro, when I tell you that I am so fucking upset about Ric Flair even just being anywhere near a ring, has just got me seeing red, bro.
You see, like with Ric Flair, like I'm never against wrestling companies signing legends to put over younger talent and stuff, but like
I'm
Ric
against
Flair,
this.
But that's the thing, though. It doesn't make sense that Ric Flair should be with somebody more. Like, I'm trying to think of like an example here. Like in AEW, like we do have like some of those, narcissists, like egotistical guys. And that's like somebody I would try to pair Ric Flair up with, like as like a manager. Like back in the day, like Jay Lethal and Ric Flair, they have some chemistry. Like get Jay Lethal out of the whole Jeff Jarrett thing and just have Ric Flair mentor him.
I wonder what Rick's wife fucking thinks right now, dude. Like,
which one?
She must be exactly like they all must be fucking terrified right now.
All 10,000 of them.
Oh fuck! Oh god, I feel like my heart stopped because I started laughing mid sneeze. Oh my god! Remember that?
Half of
that
them
photo?
are 18 to 28.
Remember that photo of fucking that surface that everybody thought Ric Flair was absolutely annihilating someone's cheeks facially on a fucking on a train?
I know. I
Yo.
have no idea about any of
Yeah,
that.
and he retweeted it saying that he don't ride trains, so it couldn't have been him. But it looked like the back of his head, bro. That
Ric
shit
Flair
looked just
rented
like
the
Rick.
whole train.
I was like, damn, Rick, he rented out an entire car just for this show. Woo!
Woohoo! I don't know, like Ric Flair.
No, but I feel like we're
I
getting
just
way
hope
too
that
off
Ric
topic.
Flair's not involved here with Sting's last match.
I hope
Like,
he's
feel
just
like,
there accompanying.
Yes, like he could be there to accompany him, but like I kind of want Sting and Darby. That just makes the most sense.
Dude, that is been the fucking deal since day one. Since Sting has been in this bitch, he has been locked with Darby and basically grooming Darby to be the next fucking Sting, and it's worked. Why aren't we booking that? Why is that not already being established and talked about? That is fucking
here's my last thing
senile.
I am going to say about this before we move on, before I pop a freaking blood vessel from
Yeah,
how pissed
please
off
don't.
Ric Flair makes me on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, dude.
The last thing I'm going to say
Big L.
here about this entire thing is if Tony Khan books Ric Flair in a fucking match here on Sting's last match, then clearly what Tony Khan said day one at that press conference, with AEW doesn't matter. Because I remember back in the day, one of the big selling points to get fans to tune into AEW was this. They said, and I quote, "We want to listen to the fans. We want to hear your criticism. We want your voices to be heard. And we're going to consider, what you guys are saying." And every comment I've seen from this, Ric Flair and Sting segment, which is why I wanted to, recap it. All I've seen is it needs to be Darby versus Sting. Get Ric Flair out of here. You better not put him in a tag match. Yeah, so
just
I'm
end
going to
it
leave it
there.
as that. But our last weekly recap on AEW Dynamite, something that was actually very entertaining. It's official. Christian Cage will be defending the TNT title against Adam Copeland in Montreal, Canada. What's your thoughts on the segment this week?
Fucking
After watching
insane, bro. Fucking insane. Like, this is like if anything could get me to watch AEW, this would probably be it. And it's unfortunate because it's two very established WWE guys that have fucking seen it all, done it all. Again, both were medically retired from this shit and are both back doing some of their best work than ever and have had some of the greatest feuds and storylines so far. And arguably, again, some of their best in their entire career. So the fact that this is happening right now, whoa. Two,
Whoa.
that segment not only was super deep, it got me just loving Christian even more. And the fact that
God, I
Edge
love
sold it
Christian
so
right now.
well with the real raw fucking emotion, and just his acting has gotten so much. And like, obviously a lot of that is real. That is real shit. His mom did unfortunately pass away. That was his best friend, his rock, the whole reason that he was able to do this in the first place. So obviously that is real, but the fact that he was able to go to that place on live TV, allow himself to feel that, and use that as his scapegoat to fucking give us what we got at the very end of the segment. My God, it's so good seeing two fucking
I
legends,
felt that
real life
when he
best
said,
friends.
"Go fuck yourself."
When
I
you
felt that.
when you break the fucking fourth wall and bring real life shit into this and have two real best friends feud in the ring to tell such a beautifully and organically crafted story, man, it just gets my shit tingly. And it gave me that old school nostalgic feeling of being like, of the whole reason why I became a fan in the first place. It's just, I loved everything about that segment, and I'm even more stoked to see the whole fucking match next week.
Tony Khan, if you're watching this on We Are Wrestling on YouTube, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or knowing you, probably Pandora,
Oh shit. Not Pandora.
can we get more segments and storytelling like this on AEW every week? I understand a lot of people are very excited right now about the Continental Classic. Honestly, with Bryan Danielson on commentary, I actually enjoyed it on Wednesday. But, man, AEW used to be so good back then. I remember being so excited to
weird
watch
hearing back
episodes
then.
of Dynamite. And now it feels like WCW in 2000. Like, it's so dark. Like, I remember back in the day, like, it had all the neon colors. Our We Are Wrestling podcast has more colors that pop out than AEW Dynamite, which is pretty sad because we're, like, online and, they're on national fucking television.
Yeah, so you don't even got a budget.
We're on a real tight budget. While Tony Khan, he can blow all his money on fucking Woo Energy. I am fed up with the way AEW has been doing their shows, and I can't wait to dive into the whole QT Marshall thing later on during the weekly news. But when it comes to, Christian and Adam Copeland, man, like, this is one of the best things going on in AEW right now, and probably one of the only 3 reasons I'm still watching AEW right now. And it's fucking sad because at the end of the day, I always say this on, the podcast. I always say this on Hot Takes. I always say this on social media. I want all of these wrestling promotions to succeed because at the end of the day, we're, covering this shit. And, of course, the more wrestling is striving, the better it is for everybody in this community, the fans, the journalists, and of course, the wrestlers as well, because they're able to put, food on the plate. They're able to put a roof over their head. And we're rooting for all of these wrestling promotions to succeed. Yeah. And, like Ben is, somebody who's been criticizing AEW for years. And it's not because he wants them to fail. It's because he wants them to succeed. And that's the problem here. We are giving constructive criticism. And Christian and Adam, why can't we be getting more storylines like that?
Fucking hauntingly compelling. Like that. That is the shit that makes you want to tune in next week. That's what I'm saying, man. Like that is the type of shit that makes people want to turn that shit on next week. That's how you can maintain viewership, is compelling storytelling. Breaking the fourth wall is okay sometimes. Do it with class.
Character development.
The fact that we got Edge saying "go fuck yourself" on live TV is insane to me, and I felt those words echo through my bones, and I got chills, bro. Like that is just, and the fact that when he stepped away from the ring, he was really owned into Hollywood and acting, and going on TV. So he's really crafted who he is as a performer even more, and that segment felt elevated, bro. And I'm just like, dude, that wasn't even like long. He didn't even say much, but I felt all of that, and I believe him. I believe him, bro. Like that was one of the shortest and sweetest promos that he has ever cut in his entire career, but arguably was one of the loudest and most compelling. And he didn't even have to say or do much.
And that's the thing, man. Christian Cage, I've been loving his work as a heel ever since, he's turned heel, especially now.
Arguably with, best work in his career, period.
Switch and, the prodigy Nick Wayne, which, by the way, I am very excited that, AEW did trademark Nick Wayne's independent, tag team name, which means potentially we could be getting Jordan Oliver in AEW pretty soon, which I think that would be a really, good move. Somebody that definitely, go on IWTV and check out. He did some stuff for, Blitzkrieg Pro, one of, We Are Wrestling's, proud sponsors and partners here on the channel. And honestly, man, I'm very excited to see like where this goes because I love what they're doing here with Luchasaurus. And I really love what they're doing here with Nick Wayne a lot.
I do too. And
the kid's only 18. The sky's the limit.
Hell yeah, man. He's 18 and he's already had like a very colorful career so far. I mean, he's already been, he got very blessed to have had a father that was a legend in the indies.
Are you talking about Christian Cage?
Shut the fuck up. But he's already had a colorful career, so the fact that he's able to do this so early on and already, get into more of the big leagues very early at the ripe age of 18 and is already sat next to so many fucking legends and has had so many great angles with all of these fucking legends.
Edge.
Took a fucking chair shot by Edge.
That's crazy.
Got a concerto? Like, dude, like what the fuck, man? Like this kid
Almost
is
let his
living
mother
large.
Get concertoed.
Let's not talk about his mother, okay? This is a family podcast. We do not talk about his mama, okay? But anyways,
Life lesson to all the maniacs: do not ever concerto your mother.
fucking idiot. Oh my god, dumb. But yeah, I'm really hyped on it, man. Really hyped.
Maybe if your father's like Christian Cage, then you can consider doing a concerto.
He's everybody's father, bro. He's the world's greatest dad.
He is the world's greatest dad. He's misunderstood,
Father's
just like
Day.
Dirty Dom.
Father's Day is actually Christian Cage Day, y'all.
Christian Cage, I love that. Absolutely love that. But up next, we have the Comment of the Week segment, and of course, the We Are Wrestling Weekly News. We'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling Podcast 85.
What's crackin' everybody? WWE Hall of Famer, The Godfather here, and you're listening to, that's right, you are listening to We Are Wrestling Podcast. Check them out, man. Stay on that smoke train.
Are you looking for wrestling content? Well, We Are Wrestling provides everything pro wrestling. The best one, Donnie, Gins, and the Load Rager Ben, are wrestling marks like you who love this sport. We Are Wrestling has it all when it comes to wrestling content. We have different podcasts, vlogs, reactions, full wrestling matches, live pay-per-view watch-alongs, interviews, predictions, and so much more. Only on We Are Wrestling. What are you waiting for? Subscribe and become a We Are Wrestling Maniac now. We're back, and every week here on the We Are Wrestling Podcast, we do this thing called the Comment of the Week. And of course, if you want to get your comment featured here on the We Are Wrestling Podcast, all you got to do is just comment on, any of our social media posts, or especially a We Are Wrestling YouTube video. And this week we do have one winner, but there is one comment that I do want to give, a huge shout out to, and that is, one of our loyal We Are Wrestling Maniacs at Austin Gameplay Channel 2255.
Hey.
And he said this on my CM Punk reaction. When MJF did his pipe bomb, I watched a video from Don. Now, when CM Punk returned to Raw, I'm still here. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
Love it, Austin. But now we're going to pick, a comment of the week, because there's a lot of comments on, the reactions, obviously, and, the live watch along that you did here on the channel, and even, hot takes as well. So there's been a lot of videos up on the channel. So this week we have at Straight Edge Mikey 3967. First
Straight
time
Edge
in the
Mikey.
line. And he said this.
What up, Straight Edge?
Oh, this is great. And you would think that he'd say some good stuff about CM Punk, but he said,
goodness.
and still, WWE is trash. Of all of wrestling, CM
my
Punk,
God.
the best hypocrite in the world, is back. Wow. Whoopee! And in a month, he will be injured. In 6 months, be fired again from WWE because he will be a headache to the company. And did you see Seth Rollins literally after CM Punk came out? He was ready to jump up that ramp and beat the shit out of CM Punk. He hated it.
My man believes everything he fucking sees. He's one of those dudes. Oh, God.
Hey, I am believing the Seth Rollins stuff too.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's not a work, it's a shoot. Let me be a fan.
Oh, man.
So what's your
Yeah.
thoughts on that comment of the week, huh?
I think it's kind of obvious that Homeboy is clearly very mad. But all I can say is take a walk. God damn.
Bless you.
Take a walk,
Sneeze.
get some fresh air, and calm yourself. It's just wrestling. It's just wrestling. It's
The best
all
part
good.
about that comment of the week was the whoopee.
All I can
That
hear
was the
is
first
fucking
time.
Ric Flair just going, woo!
Except Straight Edge Mikey's going whoopee.
Whoopty fucking do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that this time around, it's CM Punk. It's gonna work out. But obviously, we're gonna talk about that in the main event topic. But congratulations to Straight Edge Mikey whoopee on the comment of the week. If you want to get your comment featured on a future episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast, all you got to do is go comment either on our social media posts or our We Are Wrestling YouTube videos. But now let's dive into the We Are Wrestling weekly news. You ready?
Let's do it.
Alrighty. Now, oh man, this one, we do got some details here that I got to read to you. So, on November 27th, 2023, earlier this week, Tammy Sytch, formerly known as Sunny in WWF, had her sentencing for a drinking and driving incident with a suspended license that happened in March 2022, killing 75-year-old Julian. The maximum sentence for the charges she was facing was 25 plus years. During the proceedings, they had psychiatrists talking about the trauma that she dealt with during childhood and adult life. The victim's brother spoke at the hearing. Sytch told the judge that she promised to make changes to her life to make sure that this wouldn't happen again. She cited the downfall of her life was the death of Chris Candido, who she used to be with.
Yeah.
The judge has sentenced Tammy to 17 years in prison with 8 years of probation once she's out. On good behavior, she could get out in 15. What's your thoughts on this, and do you think justice was served in this case?
Man. Fuck.
Definitely
This
an
is-
eventful Monday. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
this has me divided a little bit. Like, it has me a little divided because, one, I'm glad she's getting punishment for what went down. You know, she killed somebody. You know, it's not a laughing matter. You know, it's as serious as it gets. But it's an eye-opener because do I think she's a careless murderer? No. Do I think that, you know, she definitely deserves this? Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. She was drinking and fucking driving on a suspended license. You just broke massive laws.
And remind you, too, like, if you go back into her records, like, she's had chance after chance, DUI after
Absolutely.
DUI. And she
Abso-fucking-lutely.
continues to, you know, make these mistakes.
And I'm not giving her, you know, I'm not giving her any kind of justification for what happened. You know, is it a good wake-up call? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because now you're forced to face this shit. You have clearly substance issues. Jail's gonna straighten you the fuck out because there ain't no fucking alcohol there. There ain't nothing there unless somebody sneaks some shit in for you, but if you're trying to get out, yeah, or if you're trying to get, I know, you've been watching a lot of Orange is the New Black, I know.
Yes, I have.
But anyways.
3.
Yeah, I know, the fermented honey.
After they got rid of Officer Mendez, I haven't really watched it.
Porn stash?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you like that, right? How they framed
He's my favorite
his ass?
officer, man. He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Very
unfortunately, John doesn't come back when he leaves. Anyways, sorry if I spoiled that for you. Yeah, he doesn't come back.
I already knew. I looked it
Yeah,
up.
he doesn't come back. He doesn't like make any cameos or anything like that. Once he's off the show, he's just gone. But yeah, no, I think this is a good wake-up call because jail will straighten her the fuck out because she's gonna have to detox. Now, as to what got her to this place, that's where I'm divided because I know what would happen to me if I lost the love of my life because she was with Chris Candido for years, bro. Like they were inseparable for
high school
years.
sweetheart.
Yes. So I'm saying if something happened to Ash, and mind you, I've known Ash since 2012, but we got together 5 years ago in a couple weeks. This is our 5-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
I know what would happen to me if something like that happened. If something like that happened, I know what would happen to me because I cannot imagine a life without her, and it's almost unseeable at this point. And I don't know if something ever happened to her in that capacity. I don't know if I'd ever fucking bounce back from that shit, and I know how it would destroy me. So there is where I'm divided because I know what it's like to love deeply.
I will add something to that because I totally get where you're coming from. And I feel like, the thing is, like, I understand, where she's coming from because obviously, her and Chris Candido, they're high school sweethearts. And
Mm-hmm.
she got into the wrestling business because it was his dream and she didn't want to, be, at home, studying to be, medical. I think she was supposed to go to school for nursing. And she didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to, be at home while Chris was on the road because obviously at that time, a lot of these, superstars, they would, cheat on their significant other. And she went on the road and then, got, caught up in the party life and,
Mm-hmm.
trouble. And the
And then
thing I
once he
don't
went,
like about
it was
this,
explosive.
because I think a lot of people are downplaying, the fact that, her life did,
It
pretty much
drastically
went
took a
upside
turn.
down when, he passed away. But at the same time, you also do have to consider the fact that Tammy, she did cheat on Chris throughout their entire relationship. And, also using Chris Candido as an excuse, almost 20 years later, you can't be, using the same
Oh,
excuse. Like there's a time and
absolutely.
place you have to,
It comes
self-reflect.
to a point. Yeah, that's what I'm
And
saying. It comes
the
to a point
first
where
the
accountability is
first step
huge.
of recovery, man, is, owning up to your problems.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like
And
now
she
it's
hasn't
like
done that.
it comes to a point where you have to take the accountability and really face it. And it's like you got yourself here now. Like you could have spent that time healing and bouncing back. But at the same time, I know what it's like to have a horrible fucking mental capacity.
Yeah, of
And
course.
that's where
And I
I'm
get that too,
divided.
because I also deal with a lot of mental health issues
That's
as
what I'm
well.
saying. That's where I'm super divided. But at the same time, I'm very happy she is getting what
She
she's
deserves.
getting. It's justice is being served. And the fact that, she's got what 17 years ordered but could get off in 15 if good behavior, but she
Mhm.
also has an additional 8 years of probation. So she's going to have to keep a steady pace even after the fact.
And she's
She's
never
going to
going
be
to be able
monitored.
to drive a vehicle ever again either. That
Yep.
was,
She has a
stated
PR
in
now.
court.
Yep.
Yep.
She's in it's PR now, probation officer.
And
PR
that's the
rather.
thing I will say, like, obviously, I really do hope that, Julian's, family, they got the justice that they deserve.
I hope they feel that way too.
I really do hope they feel that way. That's the most important thing, obviously, because a lot of
Absolutely.
people aren't talking about, Julian in this case, because
Somebody
obviously,
fucking died,
Sunny,
bro.
she's, been on, television for all these years. She's been in, WWE. So more people are talking about her than what actually happened. And that's the
Mhm.
sad part about this entire case, which is why, we are wrestling, we do
We
send our
send our
heart. We
condolences.
send our condolences, to Julian's family during, this time because that is tragic. It's, sad that, an innocent person, died because, Tammy unfortunately was, 3 times the amount, drunk on the
Jesus
road.
fucking Christ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
And
man.
it's
Like
just
it just
sad. And honestly, like, I think that she's had, chance after chance. And I think that now, this is, she's hit rock bottom officially.
Mhm.
And I think that, if, 15 years on good behavior doesn't teach her, then nothing will.
Yep.
She's pretty much in jail until she's 66 years old.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she ain't getting any younger. And she's I hope the best outcome happens for everybody involved. That's all I'll say to close it off.
And that's the best way to close it off. But moving on now to, some, sad news as well. Back in the wrestling, world, MJF is dealing with a real injury. The good news is he won't be missing any TV time nor plans to get surgery to fix, some problems he's been having with his shoulder from his match with Jay White at Full Gear. And he is still slated to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Samoa Joe at World's End. And he's also dealing with a lot of pain in his hip as well from earlier in the night during his Ring of Honor tag match. That was fucking useless. What's your thoughts on, MJF's, injury and, going into World's End, defending that championship with, some pain?
Uh One, I respect any wrestler that wrestles through actual injuries. because depending on the severity of it, it could be career threatening eventually. And obviously, an injury causes stress on your body, and enough stress could make things a lot worse and progressively could do some more permanent damage. So I salute anybody that's willing to give up a lot of natural function for, what they love and for the fans. But at the same time, it's like we know where this is headed now. Now it's kind of predictable. If he retains at World's End, I'll be fucking surprised because it doesn't sound good. Shoulder injuries, that's the motor of your movements right there, man. Like that's a big deal. And if that ended up being utilized, and if one unsafe move happens, that could cause a lot of really rigorous harm. And I'm worried. I'm worried.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it.
I'm worried as well, man. MJF's the GOAT. I'm worried.
He really is the fucking GOAT. And the dude my God, has he stepped up in just the last year, man. So if this is the end for a little bit, after World's End, it's been a hell of a first run, and then when he comes back, it's going to get juicy again. So it'll be, I hope the recovery process goes graciously.
I do as well. And this is where, oh my goodness, I feel like you right now criticizing AEW. I am not happy about this because I think if MJF wasn't doing 2 matches on the goddamn pay-per-views, then we wouldn't be dealing with these injuries right now, would we?
Nope. And dude, AEW is fucking injury city. It's the capital of it.
Remind you, his tag partner that he won these fucking championships with is not even wrestling right now. So why the hell is MJF holding these championships? I don't even think he's been on an episode of Ring of Honor since winning the titles.
That's what I'm saying, man.
This
it's one of those
exactly
bad
what's wrong
booking
with
decisions,
AEW.
bro. It's Tony fucking
There's
Khan.
no fucking structure.
Bro
I'm
has
tired
so
of
many
it.
plot holes that he can't even fucking fix, bro. It's ridiculous.
For real, like he's fucking building houses out of straws, and then the big bad wolf, Vince McMahon's coming down and blowing the fucking roofs off.
Why do you think I'm so in and out of the idea of really diving in? Because dude, it's just right when I get stoked, some crazy shit goes down that I'm just like, sour taste again,
Now,
I
will give Tony Khan and AEW credit here. The pay-per-views are fantastic. Every time I do watch the pay-per-views,
but the
I
shows
get my money's
themselves
worth.
suck.
So when it comes to World's End, honestly, I'm very excited to go there with you and, get that experience, put a nice little vlog out on the channel. I'm very excited for it, but
stoked.
Man, these shows, they need to step it up. And MJF getting hurt, I totally blame it on this whole Ring of Honor bullshit. Because if he wasn't, working so damn much,
and
then
overworking himself
hurt.
as well, because he's got to be conditioned for 2 matches, and that takes a lot out on your body. And he's young, but the dude, if he keeps keeping up this pace, he's going to be injury prone, and then he's not going to function right in his prime. So it's just, don't over fucking exert yourself. And that's where I'm saying AEW is fucking dangerous for that shit.
Yeah. And I don't know what Adam Cole's done to this man, all right? He's literally changed MJF so much, in this time period, believe it or not. MJF is dating Tits McGee right now.
I remember that.
MJF is wrestling every week now. And there's pay-per-views where he's wrestling not once, but twice. I remember when he was a heel, he would only wrestle the pay-per-views, and then he would have his opponents, have to go through like 5 matches with friggin' people to get to him. What happened? What the fuck happened? And I will say this. The one thing I don't like either about all of this with MJF is, with this feud with Samoa Joe so far, why are they not taking advantage of MJF going into 2024, as a free agent? The bidding war. Because MJF should be on here saying, because I believe, when he cut this great promo this past Wednesday, he pretty much said, I'm going to go through this final battle, and then, I'm going to be still the reigning champion, this and that. And it's why don't you say, okay, I'm going to, end this reign for Samoa Joe, and I'm going to take this championship, and I'm going to leave.
I'm a dip.
It would make it more exciting.
He could pull a CM Punk, yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, what I'm hoping, though, happens, MJF does beat Samoa Joe. He takes the time he needs, tease the whole bidding war of 2024, because obviously, I think we all know at this point, because they were not able to keep it under the radar, he signed with AEW until 2027. We talked about it last week on the live episode. And I just think that let him, recover. AEW crown a new champion at, Revolution. Then, when MJF is ready to come back, you can have him, go face to face with whoever the champion is. And then there you go.
Massive.
You could do a brand split.
Yeah, that
and you have
pop's
two
gonna be
world
massive.
champions. You have one on Dynamite, you have one on Collision, and there you go. You can start having structure, but that's not going to happen.
Nope, it's AEW. It's a fucking scramble every week.
Yep. So moving on now to the next topic we have here. We're going to go with WWE. We did have an AEW one above it, but yeah, I need to give myself a little break on this AEW shit here.
Let's go.
WWE doesn't want any more talent leaving. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that there's a lot of movement in WWE right now as far as they don't want to let anyone leave.
That's
Meltzer
fucking
stated.
hilarious to me.
And there's lots of people who are being offered very big money. That is besides just CM Punk. But other people who are being offered very big money, much more than they are making to stay. What's your thoughts on WWE trying to keep all their upcoming free agents going into 2024?
It's fucking hilarious how night and day the Vince era and the Triple H era is, because in the Vince era, the dude loved cutting everybody every fucking week so he could have a fatter wallet.
You're fired.
Triple H over here just like, how much you want, boy? How much you want to stay right here?
Now he's taking a page out of Tony Khan's book right there.
He got UFC money now.
He's got the UFC money.
He got UFC money now.
I don't know. I think Dana White's taught him a few things about ripping off his fighters and performers.
But the thing is, though, he's not.
I know Triple H is paying him. That's the difference.
Dude, when I tell you, man, that WWE's been the best it's been in at least 10 years is incredible. Maybe even longer.
10. Actually, yeah, 10
I would say
years.
like
That's
12.
fair.
I would say like 12, honestly,
I'd say
realistically.
like 10. 10's a fair number.
Yeah.
After CM Punk left, it kind of got a little stagnant. And that was about 10 years ago.
Because it got better around, I would probably say like 2019, like the man era. Like I would say like around 2019, it got better.
I don't think so.
For me.
I think once the
stand
Thunderdome
it.
era was over, that's when, the momentum picked up, I think.
I feel like that's when it exploded. I think the momentum really blew up at the Royal Rumble 2020. I think that's what it really
fair.
fucking
Honestly, I'll
started.
give you that one. That's a good
Shit was insane. We got a tease of it at Mania 2019, but fucking Royal Rumble 2020. But yeah, no.
Now I think like Triple H is kind of taking a page out of Tony Khan's book here, because now that they stole CM Punk, they don't want the same thing to happen with one of their talent going on AEW.
Look,
Triple H said,
how much you want to say?
Triple H right now is playing chess. Tony Khan is
Oh,
playing
man.
checkers. And I think Triple H, is like done with this whole AEW
I'm
thing. So I
sorry.
think his goal is to try to keep everybody down.
Well, the roster is fucking stacked now. Like, they even got CM Punk. Like, they got CM Punk, Randy Orton, fucking Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. They got fucking...
The
they got
Judgment
all
Day.
this. They have all of this. Like, dude, this tiny... Because, like, dude, if you think about it, dude, WWE's roster is fucking microscopic compared to AEW's ever-growing fucking ant farm. That shit is ridiculous. That shit is fucking ridiculous, bro. And he still has all this talent, no fucking idea what to do with them. But then you got fucking WWE, who's got stacked fucking established talent, established storylines for the most part, enjoyable beyond fucking enjoyable PLEs, and their weekly shows are pretty fucking great. And now it got even fucking better. We got CM Punk in this bitch and Roman Reigns on the same
Raw
like, dude,
is stacked right now.
Bro, could you imagine CM Punk and LA Knight? Oh my god. I'm fucking simping right now, dude. It's
And just a year ago, you were saying, fuck Phil Brooks.
because, dude, when you have a place that is so open to just creativity, and then you have like the dude who is like kind of just WWE bred, because that dude just is obsessed with established storylines and letting it cook, which WWE is known for. And if you're throwing this dude who is basically a locker room leader at this point. Like, he really is a locker room leader and a veteran.
Yeah.
If you throw him to a place where there is no organization, obviously it's going to fucking implode. And I will admit, at first, I thought it was a CM Punk thing. I really did. I got so tired of it. I got so sick of it because all it was
I'm going to say
negativity.
I am going to cut you off here.
Phil was right.
I was not going to say Phil. I was going to say this, though.
Phil was right.
I think
and
a
I
lot
stand
of
corrected.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. I'm talking about everybody in the pro wrestling community that, was blaming CM Punk. I think a lot of people started to change their opinion about it when Mark Henry went on Busted Open Radio and pretty much said, like, it's not, like AEW now, they think it's going to be all rainbows and sunshine, when CM Punk leaves. And now that CM Punk's gone, we're still seeing drama happen. We're still seeing, like, everything crumble down.
It's a
and
fucking
now
jungle,
they can't
bro.
blame CM Punk. And I think that's where, a lot of people are realizing, Mark Henry was right about his statement.
I think, and you can quote me here, and I think this will age finely. And I'm going to say that here with the utmost confidence. And if I'm wrong, holy shit, I deserve the scrutiny that I will receive. But I'm going to say this right now. CM Punk will officially 1,000% rebuild his reputation in WWE.
Yep.
And he will be
100%.
known officially as the greatest of all time.
Man. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And honestly, with WWE, trying to pay talent, I feel like it definitely makes sense.
It's
why
good.
They want to
People
do it.
It's
paid. Great for the superstars.
It's phenomenal. Great. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, they're getting a fucking payday, and I'm loving that. I love that for all of them, dude. Like I said, I am never a fan of when somebody loses their job doing what they fucking love. And that was and I've always said that on this show, is I'm never a fan of somebody losing their job. And with Vince, that's all that was fucking happening.
So honestly, like, I really do hope that, like, I'm happy that these wrestlers, these superstars are going to be getting a payday, but if it's somebody that's not being utilized, like if they're on Main Event or Superstars or, eating a lot of food and catering, I feel like they should, like, I hope that they're not the ones that are getting re-signed to these big contracts. And there's some name in particular, I will say this, there is one name in particular that I kind of hope he does, go back to New Japan or does go to AEW, and that's AJ Styles.
That's a hot
take.
In
2024, because
that's a hot take.
He is supposed to be, an upcoming free agent pretty soon, and I do feel like realistically he is going to get a payday. He's going to re-sign because he's happy, like, with the position that he's in. But I kind of hope, like, I do want to see an AJ Styles, like, outside of WWE again, because I feel like he's lost a lot of momentum the last couple years, and they're just not using him right.
Not right now, no.
But honestly, it is a good thing, though, for WWE, and I wonder, like, what's going to happen, because obviously, like, the big, person right now that everybody's talking about is Drew McIntyre. Like, are we going to be seeing a payday from him?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And see him, do you think he's going to re-sign?
I believe so.
Because
he said that he doesn't plan on being anywhere else. So, yeah, I think he will.
Alrighty, well, getting back in the AEW, unfortunately.
I'll let you
Moving on now to our next topic here. I know, Ben, you're not really familiar with him, but I do want to get your thoughts on, some of the things he did say here. QT Marshall is leaving AEW. He posted a statement across his social media that he's no longer in AEW after January 1st. According to Dave Meltzer, QT has been frustrated with creative where he felt the company used to do great storylines, and he doesn't agree that putting on great matches with no story or build is the way to go about it. Something that New Japan Pro Wrestling does. So, I do gotta ask you, Ben, do you prefer the storytelling style that we normally see in the US?
Yeah, you don't even need to fucking continue. No, I absolutely love the storytelling because that's what makes the match as great as it is. You can do amazing moves, you can do high spots all you want, but if there's no substance to the product, it's bland.
I do agree with that. I think the only pro about, doing big match like feels like they do at New Japan is, the big events like the pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, the regular shows, like you can watch, pro wrestling anywhere. Like if I want to go watch, a solid, like match, I could just go on YouTube and search it up. But like
Mm-hmm.
with these shows, like you need to get people to tune in. And right now in AEW, I'm going to be honest, the only big storylines that have me interested right now is Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, and
Yep.
obviously MJF because I followed his career everywhere he
That's
went.
literally the only two I care about. Other than that, I couldn't give a fuck less about anything else, and
And I
that's
also do
unfortunate.
like, a lot of their stars as well. Like I do like their, homegrown talent like Daniel Garcia. Wish they would do more with him. I also really like what they've done with Swerve, lately as well. It seems like he's picking up a lot of momentum.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't really like the New Japan style. Like I understand it because it's more of like a combat sport feel to it. But I feel like in,
At
the
the end of the day,
US,
there's no
it doesn't
longevity
work.
there.
There is
Yeah.
money to be made there, but at the end of the day,
It's already been done
like
before.
for me, what got me into pro wrestling, what made me fall in love with it, what made me, create We Are Wrestling was simply storytelling. These characters that were larger than life. That's what sold me.
Those are
into
real
this
life
sport that I
superheroes for
love.
us, man.
Exactly. And our good buddy Ricky, I don't know if he's going to send me the video on time or if it's going to be good quality or not, but I do have him, sending us, a video or, a little clip here on, the style of New Japan Pro Wrestling, because obviously Ben and I, we don't really follow it, and our good buddy Ricky does, so he understands it more. So we do want to hear his perspective on it. So roll the clip.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
It's me, Ricky Williams.
I'm not mad at that.
No, Ricky! Bullshit!
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
It's me, Ricky Williams.
What's up, We Are Wrestling? This is Ricky. Shout out to Donnie and Ben. The difference between WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling storyline, in my opinion, WWE, it's more about entertaining. It's really predictable with WWE, if you think about it, because there hasn't been any great storylines lately from them. But also in the process, it's also like, what's that word? It's also intriguing because sometimes you'll be surprised in what they do. But the only storyline that's been active and relevant the past 3 years has been the Bloodline. So, but it's always intriguing for WWE when it comes to their storylines. I think they make theirs quickly and somewhat. It's always predictable. At the end of the day, New Japan, extremely different. Like they got long-term storytelling. Sometimes you can tell, depending on if you watch the product. New Japan storylines will take 2-3 years if they have to. The matches are beautiful. The matches are always going to be beautiful. It's going to be delivered. That's why one of the things I like New Japan, I'm a wrestling head. I like the matches at first. Always at first. It's like, you're not even going to know. It's always going to be a classic match. It's what it is about New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's all about the fighting. WWE's got the E for entertainment, but New Japan Pro Wrestling, the pro wrestling is all about the fighting, and the storylines are always in the match, and they're simpler. Gato always has a long-term plan when it comes to those storylines. New Japan, in my opinion, they got the better stories, and they treat all of their top stars extremely better. Okada, Tanahashi, Naito, Ospreay, before he goes to AEW. Even David Finlay. David Finlay's a mid-card guy, and they're treating him like a big star with his storytelling, and him replacing Jay White as the leader. But there's always long-term storytelling with New Japan. AEW is going into the New Japan Pro Wrestling style storytelling. Based on what I've seen, it's kind of similar, not really. I mean, the only thing similar that I've seen is the Continental Classic tournament. It's comparable to the G1 Climax. Literally, the G1 Climax is literally the strongest, greatest tournament of all professional wrestling history, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a New Japan guy. It's still a young company. They still got time to grow. I don't think they should copy anything. I don't think they should copy New Japan. I don't think they should copy New Japan at all. I think they should just stick to their thing. Because AEW, they're still coming up and they still got time, but they shouldn't copy AEW. I don't see similarities in there. I don't see them taking their style of approach with storytelling, but I could be wrong in my opinion. But we can see like I said, the only thing similar is that Continental Classic tournament. It reminds me of the G1. And just get some good matches out of it. But other than that, I don't see any similarities yet.
So now, getting back into, QT Marshall. Now, I am going to give my thoughts on, this whole thing because obviously I've been a fan of AEW since day one. And I think that this is going to be a huge loss for them. I think that, QT is one of those guys that, pretty much is somebody that is a jack of all trades. He does everything. And a lot of the times, the things that he's doing doesn't get credited. Like with QT, Cody Rhodes actually was the one that brought him into AEW because pretty much, he had some producing opportunities that he was good at. He got some opportunities in Ring of Honor and stuff around Cody Rhodes' time.
Yeah.
And QT, is really good in the ring. So he has trained a lot of AEW homegrown talent, a lot of, Cody Rhodes's, prospects at the Nightmare, Academy. And I think that this is just going to be a massive loss.
Yeah,
them.
honestly, it's like, why stay in a place, though, where you're undervalued, underlooked, and you don't even like the direction the company's going in, And that's okay, and there's no bitter feelings, but, if you're not getting used, might as well go somewhere where you're going to be properly utilized. And where that it's going to be, who knows? We'll have to wait and find out.
And didn't I say it, a little while ago about, these Cody Rhodes guys? They're all going to be leaving AEW
coming
one by one. MJF, it will be eventually, but right now, Tony Khan's giving him the bag that, he can't say no to. He's getting that Hulk Hogan pay.
At a very young age, so he's very lucky.
At a very young age. And obviously, if you're at his age, you're obviously going to take that money.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to be the main event. You get to be the face. But honestly, man, with QT, I will say one thing, though. I guess, the thing that broke the camel's back was that CM Punk wanted to use Powerhouse Hobbs on Collision. And at the time, Powerhouse Hobbs was doing stuff on QT, TV. That was the whole character segment thing.
Yeah.
And pretty much QT Marshall felt like Tony Khan betrayed him by, picking CM Punk's side with, Hobbs over QT TV. I will say that's the only thing that I will say. Yeah, QT TV was not good.
Okay.
But honestly, I do wish, QT Marshall the best. And I think whoever picks him up, that's a massive upgrade. I definitely could see WWE picking him up as a coach, maybe at the Performance Center, and, maybe do something, backstage with WWE. Yeah. Or, I also could see him going to TNA Wrestling because they focus on a lot more storytelling as well. And he's somebody that, does still want to be a wrestling star at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But moving on now to somebody that you're familiar with, somebody that you love, the Young Bucks.
Oh,
they're getting repackaged.
Hey, guess what? You want to know my take? I don't care.
Hold on a second. You might care about this. Earlier this week, the tag team filed to trademark the term KTB Wrestling, Killing the Business Wrestling, and Super Dick Party. Meltzer noted, the first term is for outside AEW projects and is not currently part of the stable idea. So the Young Bucks, man, right now they're on a break, and it looks like they're going to be going in a full heel run because now they're letting the Dark Order do the Being the Elite show.
Oh no. That is, yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care. Like, I really don't, because I'm that much not a Young Bucks fan. Like, I'm waiting for fucking Nick Jackson to come back bald. Then I'll be fucking talking. I'll be like, he finally did it. He finally fucking pulled the plug on that shit, literally.
Honestly,
no, I
I'm
really
tell you
don't.
this.
I really don't care. What's
I'm gonna
up?
tell you the truth. I really don't care about this either. The only
Thank
reason
you.
I put this in our
Just to get a reaction out of me, you son of a bitch.
yes, on
You
the We
son
Are
of a
Wrestling
bitch.
Weekly news. I just wanted to get your reaction.
Thank God, because I really don't care.
Now,
really
I could have been more of a dickhead, Ben.
Oh
If it
no.
wasn't your birthday week, we could have talked about Sasha Banks because there's more stuff coming out. She posted a video of her training, and it looks like there's speculation that she is going to be going back to WWE most likely in 2024. But obviously, we're going to wait until we get a little closer to that because I think more stuff will come out within the next month or so. But now moving on to our last, weekly news topic. According to PW Insider, TNA Wrestling made a massive offer to Will Ospreay before he signed with AEW. Most likely the largest offer to a single star since Anthem took over ownership of TNA Wrestling or
damn.
Impact. It was, I guess, according to, multiple reports, a 7-figure deal. What's your thoughts on this, and what does this mean for the future of TNA? Because that's a lot of money for a company that, is dying.
Yeah, that is a lot of money. And it depends on where that 7 figures. 7 figures, holy shit. Yeah, that's millions. I was just thinking about that. I was like,
that
oh,
is,
fuck.
I believe, 10 million or more. If I'm mistaken.
No, it's in the singles. It's in the singles because 6 figures is like the 100,000.
100,000.
Yeah,
so 7.
So that's the
it's
single
like
figures.
It's like $1 million. So
Shit.
AEW probably gave him 8 figures, probably.
I wouldn't say 8 figures, but like at least maybe like 10 million to. See, I wouldn't even say that high. I guarantee fucking they offered him $1 million
6 to
a
8
year.
million, probably.
Yeah, so or even maybe
yeah.
less, maybe like 4 to 5.
And we do want to give the Maniacs heads up. We are speculating the number. It's not disclosed. It's not confirmed. So
we're shooting the shit in real time.
The shit, basically.
But yeah, no, that would have been life changing for definitely for TNA.
That would have been such a big move for them.
That would have been massive. But
yeah, because I guess they also offered a lot of money to CM Punk too.
Oh yeah, I believe it. But with no TV deal,
that's the issue.
Yeah, it's like that's the big problem. It's like nobody really can get access to Access TV. Not many of us.
My slogan there. I should trademark it.
No, I don't have access to Access.
I don't have access to Access TV.
Bet.
But here's the thing, like, I will say this. TNA definitely has a bright future, but I think that if they have this type of money, it's time to invest in a solid TV deal. NWA was actually very close to getting one on the CW, which we don't even know what's going to happen with that. So if they could do it, TNA should most definitely be able to do it. I just think that, this is really good to hear because for a company that's dying to, being able to offer 7 figures, and this is, money that they haven't been able to offer, for years.
Then how about
that's a great move, and this rebuild has been fantastic.
Then how about they take that money that they want to invest in that particular superstar and invest it in a fucking TV deal? Fuck.
Yeah, that's how
that's that easy. Invest it in a fucking TV deal. Boom, done. Problem fucking solved. And then and then once you've made that revenue, boom, problem solved. More wrestlers. But that's where homegrown talent has to step the fuck up. So other than that,
and
that's
I think TNA, they have a solid roster. They just need to get a big name in there, and I think that everything will just float. Which is, what they need. But I think, them investing more into like the production side of it, they've already done that, since, Bound for Glory. But now it's time to push for that TV deal. And I think that will really help TNA, take it to the next level. And I think more talent will consider going to TNA over a company like AEW or WWE for, an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, they're all independent contractors. And of course, they're going to want to be seen by more people. So that's why, a lot of the times AEW, I feel like, does get flooded with talent because they're really the only second option in the US market.
Yep. Only profitable option.
But up next, we have the Getting Put Over segment. And this week, we're going to be putting over R-Truth, the biggest return this week. And of course, the main event topic, CM Punk's WWE return. We have all the juicy details. We'll be right back with more We Are Wrestling Podcast 85.
Hey, what's up, players? WWE Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and you are listening to the We Are Wrestling Podcast. And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Collecting has always had a special place in my heart, going all the way back to when I was a kid. I remember my parents taking me to Toys R Us and waking up on Christmas morning to a bunch of new action figures. I had bins filled with thousands of rare WWE, WCW, ECW, and TNA figures through the years until, unfortunately, I ended up selling my whole childhood without knowing the true value of my collection. 2 years after I made that horrible decision, the pandemic hit, and I realized there was a part of me that felt missing, and that was collecting. My whole life, I've loved collecting wrestling figures, wrestling memorabilia, classic video games, Nickelodeon stuff, sneakers, Funko Pops, and even Angry Birds. As time went by, I decided I wanted to get back into collecting, except this time, document it and rebuild my collection over on Best One Donnie. So, if you want to go back into time and relive my nostalgic memories, subscribe now. We're back, and every week we do this thing called the Getting Put Over segment, where every week Ben and I, we alternate and we pick one past, present, or future superstar that we put over. And last week, we put over Season 1 Tough Enough winner Maven. This week, Ben, who are we putting over?
If you guys were paying attention at the beginning of the show, we switched it from Eddie Guerrero to R-Truth because, honestly, it was really good to see him again and actually get some good laughs and actually have him get a pretty big reaction for his first appearance back at Survivor Series. And then Monday Night Raw comes along with the fucking segment with Judgment Day in their clubhouse. And
my highlight of the week.
The jelly rolls. Yeah, I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. And
we do want to give heads up to, the We Are Wrestling Maniacs as well that was looking forward to Eddie Guerrero. Next week, I've decided that we're going to put over Eddie, since this week we're putting over R-Truth, who I was going to pick for next week. So pretty much Ben and I, we did a trade.
Yeah. So fuck it. R-Truth, man.
R-Truth.
Even for what he has accomplished in WWE, it goes without saying that he's one of the most entertaining superstars we've ever had. Like, that dude just operates on a different level of just spontaneous comedy, and it's just so fucking funny. And it's organically funny. It's like he's not even trying. Like, this is just genuinely how funny this fucking guy is. But if you can look past that and see his athleticism, that dude, for his age and for, however long he's been doing this, moves with such fucking grace. It's almost disgusting.
I think it's almost been 30 years now that he's had.
Yeah, like, I honestly, I don't ever want a superstar to be the next whoever except for themselves. But if there's anybody that could lace up Booker T's boots, it is definitely R-Truth. And that's why I'm kind of like,
hey, they got the scissors kick.
That just how fucking solid
I just noticed
they move
that
in the ring.
Too. I have to put over the scissor kick here.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
A lot of people don't use it. I'm surprised.
It's fucking sick. It's fucking sick, bro.
And you would think, in today's, wrestling, that move would be overused, but it's really not.
I remember when that finisher was fucking, that happened, there was a good chance you were done. Because that shit was sick as fuck. I love the scissors kick, bro. And the fact that R-Truth delivers it with such elegance and such fucking just finesse is just, again, another fucking topic for another time. But, looking back at his career, his heel work with Lil Jimmy is some of my favorite moments.
But now before we get into WWE though, I do want to put over his, early run in the Attitude Era, because a lot of people don't know this, but R-Truth actually, was in WWE before 2008, and it was back in 1999 with Road Dogg, and I believe he was I really can't pronounce his name that he was back in the Attitude Era, but he had a tag team with the Road Dogg for a little bit. And then, he got released, and then he went over to TNA Wrestling when, they first came up, and he ended up winning the 10 pounds of gold.
Was it as Ron Killings?
Yep, as Ron Killings. And he had a great run over there. Even teamed up with Adam Pac-Man Jones, one of my favorite moments in TNA. And then, of course, went to WWE and had a legendary run.
Oh my God, dude. And the crazy thing is, it's not even over. Dude just came back at Survivor Series. I'm really excited.
I wasn't
to see
expecting
where we're going.
His return.
I really want to see that dude back in a ring more on a regular basis and in more.
And I'm going to tell you something that was pretty funny. So,
what up?
On the way to Brooklyn that morning, we were just all shooting the shit, talking about wrestling, and my buddy, Cash Out Sherm, said, "You know who I haven't seen in a while? Who's that? R-Truth. Is everything all right with him?" And I told him, what happened, because obviously, when it comes to wrestling, all my friends, they go to me, because I got the scoop, and I keep them in the loop. And with, R-Truth, man, I told him, he tore his ACL, this and that, and then my buddy Jordan says, "What if he comes back tonight?" And then, it just kind of, just went in one ear out the other. I'm just I don't know. I don't see
it. And then,
it.
boom, he's back.
Boom, he's back in a fucking potato chip commercial. Only
awesome.
R-Truth can do that and get put over.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I'm trying to sponsor or advertise something, R-Truth, if I had to pick somebody, it's R-Truth.
Absolutely. Like I said, anything the dude does, it has and will forever be legendary. And I hope that his final run is something sweet. I don't know if it's his final run. I don't know how much longer he plans on doing this, but I hope that, there's some unanswered, unfinished shit to do. I hope he's got a push coming. I hope that he can have more of a serious run in a way. So, I'm hoping for the best.
Absolutely. And, with R-Truth, one of my favorite moments in his WWE career, it's got to be 2011 heel R-Truth.
Yes.
I love the feud that he did with John Cena during Capital Punishment. That was one of the highlights of 2011 for me. And I just remember, R-Truth, drinking, the Coke, and then also, smoking a cigarette on PG WWE TV. That was wild.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, R-Truth, he was just he's there is so many different eras of R-Truth that is just incredible. Even his 24/7 bout is just remember
the beginning of it with Drake Maverick. That was good stuff. In my opinion.
Does the 24/7 title have a shit taste, and the fact that it's finally gone is great. He made it fun.
But the early days, him and Drake Maverick, it was actually pretty entertaining in my opinion. But after Drake Maverick and R-Truth, I think that's when it kind of got a little boring and just repetitive.
I was never really into Drake Maverick.
Well, I loved what they did because they did the whole, wedding thing. They also did, the hotel room. I remember
the
Drake
hotel
being
room
in his tighty whities, and R-Truth pins him on the bed and gets the title.
And fucking books it.
But that's what I liked about the whole Drake Maverick and R-Truth thing was they actually did segments all over the place.
They had chemistry.
And that's what
really
made it so compelling and entertaining. Because back in the day with, the 24/7 Hardcore Championship, that's what I liked about it. Was they would go to these odd places, like the circus, pretty much like an Adventureland or like a Chuck E. Cheese. They would go all over the place, the airport. So, that's the stuff that I really enjoyed, and Drake Maverick and R-Truth, that's kind of what they did in the beginning of the 24/7 title run.
Yeah.
Which made it good, and then, of course, everybody in catering, they start chasing him backstage, and it's the same old shit.
It pissed me off, and this is off topic, but it pissed me off seeing fucking Jeff Hardy running around for that shit. It really pissed me off. And it only happened once. It only happened once. But,
why couldn't R-Truth be the last champion?
I don't fucking know. At least it was Nikki Cross, and she had like enough fucking lack thereof conscience.
She
to
missed
throw
it in
away.
the trash can. Oh man, okay, we need to get back to putting over
Yeah.
R-Truth because we're like getting a little negative here, and this is the one segment where we can't be negative, toxic
No.
wrestling fans.
But to end it with R-Truth, I just wanted to put him over and
What's
just
one of your
say
favorite
how
matches with him?
the one you mentioned with John Cena. That was like
John
the
Cena, yeah.
fucking high point for me for R-Truth, man. One of the things I love the most about him is his entrance. It's like,
what's up?
What's up? Yeah, I love his fucking entrance. Like that's one of the most just entertaining entrances of all time. And
Okay,
yeah.
one of your funniest moments of R-Truth because he's had so many.
Oh my god.
If you had to pick one.
The Brock Lesnar
over.
and Paul Heyman fucking promo. 100%. That is by far the greatest fucking segment of R-Truth's in the history of R-Truth's career. That has to be the best because not only did he fucking make Brock Lesnar fucking break character and start dying because Brock had no fucking idea what was going on, but it was how well him and Paul Heyman sold that shit. And then got a vicious F5, but was still dying on the way to the back. And honestly, got an honest, like, dude, we need to do more shit together from Brock Lesnar. And that's a big fucking deal, bro. Like, that has stuck with me because I randomly think about that shit, dude. Like, I'll, like, literally the other day, I was fucking driving around, doing my deliveries, and I'm driving, and there's like 15 minutes until I get to my first run. And I just start fucking dying just to myself because I remembered the segment when he was just like, "You will go over the top rope, Paul Heyman." And I just started fucking dying. I just started fucking dying, dude, because I just randomly think about this shit.
He was excited to be in the War Games match, but unfortunately, it already happened.
Yeah, because I was thinking about his return, and that was the first thing that popped up in my mind, and I started dying, bro. So, like I said, I think about that segment to this day randomly. So, yeah, that would be my favorite segment of R-Truth's period.
Yeah, so for me, I gotta go with, that one, or I also really did like the whole Royal Rumble thing with the ladder. I thought that was pretty funny.
That would he running out with a ladder, went to go climb up and chase nothing. And he was like, "The fuck is it?"
And then also I remember this time too, where like they had all the wrestlers in there for like Money in the Bank, and then R-Truth is just like excited, like he wants to be in it, and then Corporate Kane is like, "R-Truth, it already happened," or something like that. I forgot what it was, but it was hilarious.
Bro, honestly, during to go back to that ladder spot in the Rumble,
I'm gonna find it real quick.
I wonder how what the fucking backstage looked like in Gorilla. I wonder if it was a fucking jungle with them just dying at the fucking monitors and just Triple H or who the fuck ever.
I got the segment. So
you do? Okay.
It was he thought that he was in the Money in the Bank ladder match and he wasn't. So let me I'm gonna play a snippet like the voice. Whoop. Don't want to get copywritten here, all right?
He said,
don't want to get copywritten. Whoop. Yeah.
He said, "Whoops."
New Orleans, what's up?
God, I love R-Truth.
Tell you what's up. You see, at WrestleMania, I conquered my fear in ladders. This Sunday, wait, what are you doing out here? I'm talking about what the truth is going to do in Money in the Bank this Sunday. You're not even in the match.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember.
You're not even in the match. That was one of my favorite lines. Also, the little Jimmy shit that they did too back then.
Facts.
Yeah. So, honestly, man, R-Truth, I think that he's had such a underrated career, and I hope one day that he does get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, because you don't always have to be a world champion or win the big ones to, be a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
No, he's going to the Hall of Fame of 100%.
And I don't know if you ever watched his documentary, the short one that they had over on WWE Network.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's this one documentary where he kind of talks about the struggles in his life and where he's at now. Yeah. Highly recommend checking it out.
Definitely.
But guys, this week we put over Ron Killings, R-Truth. And next week we're going to be putting over Eddie Guerrero. But now, with that being said, let's dive into the main event topic for the We Are Wrestling Podcast 85. And surprisingly, this main event topic is not a negative CM Punk topic. If anything, this is the most positive CM Punk topic here on the We Are Wrestling Podcast.
Ever.
At the Survivor Series, after the show almost went off the air, we saw the end thing and we thought it was over. We heard the and we saw CM Punk come out, and man, what a moment. We saw CM Punk return to WWE after 9 fucking years. And we have all the juicy details here. And man, we got a lot to talk about with CM Punk's return. So let's get started with somebody who wasn't happy about CM Punk being back, Cryback. He said earlier in the night that he was going to retire if CM Punk showed up, and CM Punk showed up, and he pretty much was a hypocrite and said he's not retiring.
Because it had to be a collision. Fucking idiot, dude. The dude, it will do anything to fucking stay relevant, and it's unfortunate as fuck. But on to CM Punk's return, this is how it should have happened in the first place. Like, this is where he should have been in the first place. This is where he should have came back. Unfortunately, timing didn't work out because Vince was still helm of the company when he made his pro wrestling return. Unfortunately, this feels kind of like a hypocritical move because of everything that went down, but at the same time,
but I think here's the thing.
This
though,
is phenomenal.
But it's not as hypocritical now because Ryback's the hypocrite. He said he was going to retire if he showed up. So I think that, Ryback has helped CM Punk in this case. Ryback's the hypocrite, not Cody, not CM Punk.
It's unfortunate, man, because I'm just like, man, had this just happened in WWE in the first place, maybe none of that drama shit would have happened. But then again, Vince was head of the company at the time. It wasn't Triple H, it wasn't.
And you have to realize CM Punk as well. Like, he didn't know that, it wasn't greener on the other side. Like, CM Punk had to, go through the bullshit to really understand that, at the end of the day, WWE is his home. And a lot of the times when you're a big superstar in, World Wrestling Entertainment, sometimes you have to leave and, adventure out and, take a break. Because, when you're on TV just for years, eventually you become so repetitive and you get bored, you get tired.
Mm-hmm.
And, around CM Punk's time in WWE during his first stint, they were on the road twice as long as they are now. The schedule is a lot nicer, in 2023 than it was in 2013.
Oh yeah,
so,
they don't tour as much.
CM Punk, he needed that time away, and going to AEW, I think a lot of people forget about this. And I was saying this also on Hot Takes, where I talked about a lot of this. I think that CM Punk, if a lot of people want to talk about AEW, they want to trash it, this and that, but honestly, if it wasn't for AEW, CM Punk would have maybe never stepped foot back in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Because, having those conversations with Tony Khan, CM Punk was very hesitant on coming back. And, he did come back because of AEW. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. But I believe that, in life, and I don't know if you believe in this either, everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that, CM Punk coming back at this exact moment,
it was supposed to
happen for a reason.
I'm just delighted to know how this run's gonna go. I'm excited because there's a lot of dream matches there, man.
Booking. And we're gonna get into
exactly.
That,
yeah, there's a lot of dream matches here. I want to start with his Raw promo because
we're gonna get there real quick with the promo.
Damn, I can't talk about that yet either.
Hold on, because I have it all. I have it all here for you, man.
You got a structure? You got a structure for this? Okay.
All right.
I'll bite.
All right. Here we go. All right. Here we go. So, as of right now, which I will get into some of the backstage stuff. Then we can talk about the Raw promo if that works for you.
Okay.
So, right now, CM Punk has no plans to address anything that happened in AEW. He wants to move past it. PW Insider noted that a few people weren't thrilled Punk was back due to the AEW drama, but after talking to him at Raw, they felt better about him returning. And pretty much, backstage, Punk was out and about with everybody else in the locker room and spent a lot of time talking to people before the show. Punk came in as if he wasn't above anyone else and was super friendly to everyone who he interacted with. And those were the reports that came out backstage. So how do you feel about those before we talk about the Raw promo?
That's great. That's a positive reception. However, because of the things that went down, obviously by nature, you are very, justified to be cautious. Only time will tell. That's like the most cliche thing you could ever say, but it's true. Only time really will tell. However, I am more hopeful than anything because of not only the leadership, not only the whole different company aspect and different management, different creative control, more collaborative ideas, a better layout, a more structured place, a more familiar territory in terms of the content that he wants to provide for the audience and the kind of work he wants to do is there. Again, big dream matches, different fucking field of stars that he can work with that I'm very excited to get into. This is just all around a really good business move for everybody involved, and the backstage reception, phenomenal. He was embraced. He was welcomed with hugs and kisses. He was able to really, connect with people he hasn't. Yes, he was able to reconnect with people that he hasn't seen in a very long time, and he's excited to work with. This is a big win, and AEW should be quivering. They really should be. It's not a versus thing. It's just they are really hurting right now, and they need to fix it fast.
Yes, they do. And I think that, this is fantastic news to hear because obviously backstage, a lot of the CM Punk stuff that we've heard the last, couple of years has been very negative, very toxic, getting himself in the fights, throwing fits at, media scrums, and, even his friend biting Kenny Omega's arm like a dog. It's great to hear something refreshing, something new, and to see like CM Punk being welcomed with open arms is just great because I think at the end of the day, WWE is CM Punk's home, and it's just incredible, to see like all the love, all the positivity that he's been getting since coming back. It's pretty much similar to like Cody Rhodes when he left AEW. All the fans, like, he was like so hated because they wanted him to be a heel, and Cody, didn't want to be a heel. There was a time where Cody was trying to throw his weighted belt to the crowd, and the crowd was throwing the weighted belt back at him. And then, of course, going to WWE, he is the biggest babyface now. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy that AEW, didn't capitalize on, Cody Rhodes like WWE has. And that's why I think CM Punk, coming back home, they're going to capitalize on it. They already did. They're already breaking social media records. And man, it's so good to see, especially that picture with CM Punk and Triple H.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, it's a cold day.
Burying the hatchet, man. Life's too short. But now let's talk about the Raw promo because, of course, CM Punk, spoke for the first time in nearly 10 years on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, if you guys haven't checked out my reaction over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, highly recommend it. But Ben, what's your thoughts on it?
I was anxious at first, hearing him speak. Not even that long ago was he performing at Wembley for AEW. So, and realistically, it wasn't that long ago.
Back in August.
Yeah, and it's only fucking November. Well,
by the time this comes out, December.
Yeah, I am absolutely was in shock, and like I said, very anxious because I was afraid of not only how he was going to be received, how genuine the promo was going to come off, what he had to say, if it was going to sit well, and what the reaction was going to be in the reception after the promo. At first I was anxious because I'm like, he is kind of hitting all the cliches right now, but it's kind of making sense. And by the end of the promo, I was very hopeful and I was very comfortable with it. And I was like, all right, This is a good first night. This is a very good first impression. I'm excited for what next week brings, and I'm excited to see where we're going to be kicking it off, you know? Everything felt genuine of what he said.
Yes.
You know, that I'm home. You know, I am a changed person. You know, this is a different company now. And the final line that he dropped right before the cameras started fucking cutting out. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
Yeah, and then the best part was when it went off the air, which we do have the video over on our social medias on We Are Wrestling. He took a victory lap.
Yep, I saw. Yeah, I took
Fuck
a victory
you,
lap.
Young Bucks. He doesn't have to say anything.
Yep. Yeah.
Because only like us who, you know, talk
He
about
knows.
this shit are gonna know.
Oh yeah, he
Little
looked
kid is
directly
just
at the
happy to
camera.
see him run. They're not even thinking about AEW.
And the crazy shit is though, like it's kind of the nail in the coffin for AEWs at this point. Like they lost their biggest fucking draw minus MJF. Like you're really teetering right now, man. You're on a
But I
fine
think
line.
that's the
Find a
thing,
way to
though,
fix
like,
it.
I will say about AEW, the only thing I'll say, because obviously I do want to, you know, continue to keep putting over CM Punk and try to move on from that time in his life.
Yeah.
I will say this. I feel like AEW does have nothing to worry about. They're still, you know, Tony, as long as that man still got money, they're going to be fine. And
He's not going to take any of this fucking shit. Looks around
AEW
menacingly.
is going to be the solid number 2 until, you know, TNA can possibly.
Solid number 2, the shits. Yeah.
No one's ever going to be on WWE's level.
They got 50 years ahead, man.
Exactly. And nobody's ever going to get to that point because WWE right now is the most profitable it's ever been. And they're just known, like, even by non-wrestling fans.
Bro,
you know what WWE is.
Let's not talk about how stacked their roster is right now. And if they really do capitalize on Sasha Banks, it's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. I'm saying it. Like, I may not like her, but the majority of the fan base does. And if she comes back, that's a wrap.
Exactly.
Because at that point, you have all the 4 horsewomen back. That's
all 4
fucked.
of them.
So that's fucked. So
and the
yeah,
fact that Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, they even
reconciled
squashed the beef, like at the scrum. That was awesome to see too.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Loved
like
it. But now, getting into his promo for Raw, man,
yeah,
I absolutely loved it. And yeah, you know, maybe it didn't sound like CM Punk, you know, even MJF at some point, you know, I remember their promo, he called him PG Punk. He did sound PG, but it worked because it was genuine. It was real. And like when CM Punk was talking into that microphone, you can tell how happy he is to be home. And
I'm
that's
just excited for the matches.
I am so excited for the dream matches. All right, some of the dream matches. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
So my first one, I'm not going to talk about the obvious. Like we already know that his first feud is likely with Seth Rollins. Like
we're gonna get
that's the obvious. I want him and LA Knight at some point. I want CM Punk versus. I want to see him go for the Miz again. I want to see a CM Punk and Miz match, and it's possible because he's on Raw.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a him versus Gunther match. I'm very excited.
Give me that match.
I'm excited for him and a Logan Paul segment.
Him and dude, if him and Logan, oh my God, get him on Impulsive, please.
Yeah,
please
dude.
Get him on Impulsive. If there's somebody that I can request,
give
us CM Punk.
I'm so excited for him and Randy. I'm excited for him and fucking. I'm excited for him and.
I want to see CM Punk versus Finn Balor. I want to see CM Punk versus AJ
McIntyre.
Styles. Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre, bro. I'm excited for Damian Priest. I'm excited for Finn Balor. Dude, there's a whole fucking locker room. Like you said, AJ Styles. Yes. Punk. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, bro.
Dude,
KO.
Owens and Punk. Oh my God. There's
so
much money.
KO.
Oh
like,
my goodness. You can
bro,
hate,
I'm in a candy
here's
shop.
The thing, though. I know there's people out there that still hate CM Punk.
Oh yeah.
And you can't deny this when it comes to CM Punk. The man is a draw. The man knows how to put asses in seats. The man knows how to make money.
He gets people talking, whether you love him or hate him.
Exactly. Love him or hate him. And clearly, you know, he's got us talking for years on this podcast.
Yeah, man.
Now it's come full circle.
It really has.
Home. It's incredible.
I'm very excited because the roster couldn't be more stacked at such a great time, and there's so many fresh pickings for him to dive into this. There's so many what ifs that could be fucking squashed right now. Like, there's so many also rehashing the fucking.
I'm gonna tell you who I want CM Punk's first opponent.
Who?
Ooh, hold up before I.
You just got a thought in real time. Let's go.
Imagine CM Punk. And I know we're probably the only ones that would be excited about this.
Talk to me.
CM Punk versus Karrion Kross story.
Shut your fucking mouth right now. I just plaster painted the inside of my pants with 6 layers, including primer.
And primer, oh god.
Dude, yeah, that's
all right,
fucking
now we're gonna get into who
insane.
I think his first opponent should be. And honestly, like for CM Punk, now that he's back home, before you throw him into, the rivalry, like I feel like honestly it would be really cool to get like a fun match. CM Punk versus Kofi Kingston. Because obviously both of those two, they go back, they are former tag team champions. And Kofi Kingston and him, they were like best friends on the road. So honestly, it'd be kind of cool to have a nice little friendly competition between the two for Punk's first match back.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, those are like all really great matches, like those are matches waiting to fucking happen, and I'm stoked about all of them, man. Like again, Carmelo Hayes would be a fucking another great mention, I'm really, really stoked on what's happening, and I'm excited for CM Punk, and I'm excited for WWE's future.
Super excited. But now let's dive into, the elephant in the room. Dave Meltzer thinks Seth Rollins' reaction at Survivor Series is a work.
No, the fuck it is.
Do you believe it's a work or a shoot?
I think it's a shoot, because from what I've heard, a lot of people didn't even know he was in the building, and like they started.
Nick Khan.
Yeah, the Triple H and Nick Khan were the only two that knew.
Over everything.
Yeah, he said, all right, get CM Punk shit, put a package together for CM Punk and, hit his fucking music. And people were like stunned to see him in Gorilla and to make his return and shit. And like, I guess.
I heard they recorded reactions too.
And I can't wait to see those. I'm excited. I hope. I was just about to say that.
Review coming out in 2024 at some point. If they
exactly, and I'm excited to see that. Like, I would love to see the day of segment. Like Survivor Series, Punk's arrival. I would love to see that, and I think that it was a shoot for sure, and I think it's just kind of simmering something for a build up later on down the road. Obviously, you see him, god damn it, Seth Rollins is not a fan because of obviously how passionate he is about the business and how passionate he is about WWE. And, he's not thrilled in real life, but Seth is willing to work with anybody. Like, I've been seeing I've been seeing a lot of massive improvements between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. He could get over it with fucking CM Punk. All right, whatever's good for the money, what makes the most money, and obviously is very good. It's good. Yeah, I saw. He's pissed. He's pissed.
I love it.
You knew though that it wasn't real when Michael Cole was holding his ass back.
Okay, you know why I love it?
Why?
Because at the end of the day, controversy makes money in this business.
Absolutely. It gets people talking, gets you interested in seeing what's happening next week.
And that's the thing about, CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Like, okay, Seth Rollins legitimately hates CM Punk. He probably did the overreacting because he knows the fans are, going to be talking about it regardless. He knows eventually they're going to have to work with each other. So let's sell this and let's get people talking.
Let's make it
Seth Rollins does understand the business from that perspective. But now, here's the thing. Realistically, I'm going to admit it here. It's probably a work, like when it comes to, his overreacting.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not going to believe it's a work, and I'm going to continue to believe that this is a shoot because obviously we know that the two don't like each other. We've seen them go back and forth on Twitter, and, like, as a wrestling fan, like, it makes me so excited going into WrestleMania 40, knowing that the one match that honestly myself and probably a lot of We Are Wrestling Maniacs have always wanted was a CM Punk versus Seth Rollins match.
Well, here we go.
and we're going to be getting it. And with the road to WrestleMania, I will not believe that this shit is fake, because at the end of the day, yes, I cover wrestling shit, but I am a fan just like you, and I am going to believe this shit till the very end. And I still think, a part of me still thinks it's actually a shoot.
Fuck it.
And I think Triple H is gonna,
he's gonna run with it.
He probably already had them too, like in the locker room area already, and basically said, "Look, you two, like might not like each other, but
shut the fuck up and do your job."
There's a lot of money to be made for the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Exactly, man.
So I think honestly, like, they both don't like. I feel like CM Punk probably doesn't care, but Seth Rollins don't like him, and he's just gonna work with him because there's money to be made.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, CM Punk is a free agent. He's not exclusive to Raw or SmackDown. There's not really, any reports coming out yet about him or Randy. But eventually, I definitely could see,
It'll come to light.
Punk on Raw probably, and
Randy
Orton
on SmackDown.
most likely. But also, according to Fightful, some in WWE were told by higher-ups that in Punk's new contract, there is a behavioral clause, which isn't 100% confirmed, but something I definitely believe.
I believe it. I buy that.
Obviously, with what happened in AEW,
they
on
want
WWE's
certainty.
side, they have to build that trust back up with Punk. So putting that in there, I think, is a smart business move.
And I think Punk was willing to sign it because he's trying to rebuild his reputation and end everything on good terms, and to really solidify his place in the Hall of Fame. So I think
he wants to do it the right way, I think.
And I think that's where we're headed, 100%. We said it earlier on in the show, I think that's where we're headed. I think he will officially, redeem himself in WWE.
Totally agree. And now the last, thing that came out, something that we definitely do have to address, and maybe this might be the last time we, get to talk about Punk, in AEW here, but
yeah.
And this is getting a lot of backlash, surprisingly. Bryan Danielson played a factor in CM Punk's firing in AEW following the All In fight. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, Bryan is pretty much like the head of disciplinary committee, and pretty much he had like one of the final says before Tony Khan to terminate CM Punk from AEW.
Yeah, no.
What's your thoughts on that?
I read that earlier. I believe it.
A lot of fans are giving him backlash for it, which I don't understand why.
No, he was becoming. He was seen as an issue, even though the issues are still fucking happening, even with him gone. But he was seen as more of a liability because I'm assuming CM Punk is a person, obviously, that we know is very strict and set in his ways. And a lot of the time, he's a very misunderstood guy. Even the words from John Cena, who I trust with my fucking life, and I don't even know him.
Me too.
Exactly. So if John Cena saying that, bro, he's clearly not the problem. And again, I am at fault for at one point thinking he fucking was, but he was just trying to save AEW apparently, and he fucked him off. So I'm not surprised, but I can't argue with Bryan Danielson, because if anybody knows that there's the most genuine dude out there, it's him. And he wanted the best for the company, and what he thought was best was for them to part ways. And I don't think it was completely personal. I think it was for the longevity of the company.
Honestly, I think Bryan Danielson, if anything, he did CM Punk a favor.
He did do him a favor.
You have to think about it from this perspective as well. During the All-In fight that happened between Jungle Bitch and CM Punk, you have to realize that during this whole thing that happened, CM Punk, was cussing Tony Khan and threatening him and pretty much yelling like, I quit, I'm done with this place, I'm sick of it. Mm-hmm. And we do know the history going all the way back with, Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. They are, pretty good friends, and Danielson probably, realized that, because obviously we know his relationship with Tony Khan as well. They're also very close. Tony Khan even said
if something happens to him, AEW says
he would want, Danielson to take over. The thing that we have to consider here when it comes to, Punk, Danielson, I think, was doing, both his friends a favor. He knew CM Punk was done with the bullshit. So, him, having that say, like, I think it's just best, Tony Khan, that we move forward and stuff. I think that he's not at fault here. And
no, I don't think so.
Honestly, Tony Khan and all the AEW drama queens, they get what they want. Punk, He gets to come home. He gets what he wants. I think if anything, Daniel Bryan, he should be, acknowledged and appreciated for, making that decision.
Hell yeah, man.
If it's true. But now, overall, what's your thoughts on CM Punk being back home in the WWE?
I think we covered the majority of it, and obviously we could see from how excited I am. I think that we're in for something magical and nostalgic that we haven't felt since 2011. I think that we're going to be revisiting a lot of cool shit and, kicking off a lot of what ifs and really getting to see a very bright future of World Wrestling Entertainment with CM Punk, and it was something that none of us ever saw ever happening again. And like I said, once the Spider-Verse movie came out with fucking No Way Home, dude, I knew anything was possible. And it's just ever since that movie, shit has been happening. So I'm just like, yeah, dude, we're in a never say never fucking era now. Like, that shit actually means something now. So I will say that this was a mighty big dub for WWE and CM Punk.
And that's the thing, at the end of the day,
And I'm
never
excited.
say never is a real, word when it comes to professional wrestling. And I think that, CM Punk coming back to WWE, obviously, like, this was one of the worst situations that ever happened. Like him, coming back, towards Survivor Series, that on that day 9 years ago, that was when the podcast, came out with Colt Cabana and him trashing WWE. And, it was a really bad situation, and we never thought that this would happen. And, CM Punk, really did step away from, the wrestling business for a pretty long time, before, AEW, became an option. And I just think that, overall, this is just great for pro wrestling as a whole. It's got everybody talking about it. And even Matt Cardona said it. Like, if this doesn't light a fire under your ass, if you're covering pro wrestling or if you are, a professional wrestler, then, like, what the hell are you doing in this business?
Yeah.
And it just feels so good to, finally see CM Punk home where he belongs, in a structured home that has foundation.
Yeah, man.
And, he finally, isn't working with children. And it's just great, too, to see, like, even a picture I saw that surfaced with him and Bailey and AJ. That was really cool to see. And him even talking about, his wife on WWE TV, who honestly, I would love to see eventually be a surprise in, like, the Women's Royal Rumble or something down the
She
line.
likely will be.
And, oh, man, this is just great for pro wrestling as a whole. And I really hope AEW, they can, pick themselves up and, rebuild. But we're just going to have to wait and see through time. And WWE, fantastic move. And I'm so excited for the future of WWE. But to all the We Are Wrestling maniacs out there worldwide, if you guys haven't checked out the We Are Wrestling YouTube videos, we do have, a couple reactions. We have my reaction to CM Punk's Raw promo, and of course, Randy Orton as well. And even a new episode of Hot Takes where, I dived into more of the drama with Seth Rollins and CM Punk. You can check all that out on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. But to all the maniacs, let us know in the comment section below your thoughts on everything we covered this week. It was a jam-packed episode, 2 hours long. Been a long time since we hit that mark. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're listening, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download the episode, of course. But if you haven't checked out the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, where we have lots of awesome content over there, recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow Ben and I over on our social medias and other YouTube channels as well. I'm doing toy, videos on mine. Ben's taking a little break right now, but he said he's going to be back in 2024 with lots of awesome content. So guys, go subscribe to those channels. The links are down in the description below. Also, go follow We Are Wrestling over on, Instagram, Facebook, X, and even TikTok as well. We're posting lots of additional content over there. And going into 2024, we got lots of news coming out about the Patreon that will be launching. So towards, before Christmas, we will be putting out the page. We're going to launch it. So if you want to subscribe to it, you can. And we're going to have all different plans. All of it's going to be coming out within the next month. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.